Hey nerds, before I roll the intro and start the show, yesterday was a very important day. Yesterday marked the 75th year since Captain America #1 when Captain America first appeared. Yeah, 75 years old now. That's impressive. But we're not talking about him today. We're going to talk about him later. What? Why the jacket? Let's just say it's a little bit chilly in here. You guys thought I was going to say cold, didn't you? Roll the intro. Hey nerds, Johnny Nix here, and today we're mixing it up a bit. We're going to talk about our very first villain, Mr. Leonard Snart, also known as Captain Cold. Now, due to his recent appearances on The Flash and Legends of Tomorrow, Captain Cold has certainly started to warm up on us. Okay, bad pun, I know, but pun aside, Wentworth Miller, thank you. Because you brought the character to life so well, and it was perfect casting. So yes, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for making this sometimes cheesy villain to be a bona fide badass. With that being said, let's start, and let's talk about Captain Cold. Captain Cold first appeared in Showcase number 8 in 1957. He was created by writer John Broome and editor and artist Carmine Infantino. Leonard had a very rough childhood. His mother left when he was very young and his father abused him. But there was only one positive influence in his life, which was his grandfather, who worked an ice truck. And every now and then he would pick Leonard up and do routes with him. So it's safe to say that Leonard felt comfortable and safe in the cold because it reminds him of his grandfather. But that all stopped when his grandfather died when Leonard was 13. But the abuse from his father kept happening. So one day he decided to leave his house and start a life of crime, leaving his father and his sister Lisa behind. He left his sister behind because he didn't want her to be involved with crime at all. Captain Cold will do whatever it takes to make sure he has the upper hand. For example, he finally figured out a way to even the playing ground with the Flash. By using energy emissions from a Cyclotron, it would be able to slow down the Flash's speed. So he stole it and the plans and took it apart and put it back together again until he could do it with his eyes closed. So he mastered it. So in case if he ever loses the gun or the gun breaks, he knows what he needs and he knows exactly how to build it. Speaking of the gun, let's talk about his cold gun. The cold gun has a few purposes. It freezes objects, it creates a cold field around the area which slows down any person or object that's in that radius. It also shoots out ice patches that are either very slippery or extremely reflective, which is very useful. There was also a brief time where he infused his cold gun into his own DNA, so he was able to shoot ice out of his hands. But that was eventually reversed. Captain Cold's outfit may look a little bit strange to most people in the comics, but there's actually a reason for it. The reason he has the goggles is because in one of his first missions, robbing banks, they would all wear the goggles to protect their eyes from the flash their firearm would make as they were shooting at people. But he changed the use for it to protect his eyes from the glare the sun would make when he used his cold gun. And he wears the warm jacket and warm pants pretty much so he doesn't freeze as he's using his cold gun. Captain Cold is the leader of the Rogues, which is a group of supervillains whose overall goal is to take down the Flash. But he is friends with Bizarro, Heatwave, Lex Luthor, the Trickster, and the Weather Wizard. Of course, for his enemies, you have the Justice League, but mainly Barry Allen, the Flash. So nerds, that was Captain Cold. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think of Captain Cold? Do you watch The Flash or Legends of Tomorrow? And if you aren't, why aren't you? Seriously, watch the show. Both shows are really good. So is Arrow. All three of those shows I really recommend to people if you want to know at least a little bit about comics. Once again, let me know down below or on Twitter. My handle is going to be somewhere over here again, I hope. Editor, please. And with that being said, I'll see you guys on Friday, and stay nerdy.